Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Levi to the official FIS European Cup Slalom race, and we are here for day 2. We will have our first Forerunner start at any moment. Today we will have 2 Forerunners from Norway, and then we will get started with our first run for the men's slalom race for the European Cup today. And we have our first Forerunner on course at the moment. We would like to thank Fearless Finns, who have been here producing this competition together with their national team partners Mandatum, Mazda, Jaspi, and Levi. We are competing once again here on Levi Black, and the start altitude is 438 meters. We will have 68 gates and 64 direction changes. Let's hope we have a great race today. And the weather here in Levi today is a bit warmer than yesterday with about -2 degrees Celsius, humidity at 75 degrees, and fairly cloudy weather, but we can see some sunrise here as well. And we have our first Forerunner in the finish area. Thank you. At the start gate, we have our second Forerunner getting ready for his run. And our second Forerunner has arrived in the finish area. Thank you very much for both our Forerunners. Starting today, we will have Matthias Itten from Switzerland with bib number 1. After him, we will see Hans Kral Madsen from Norway. With bib number 3, we will have Reto Schmidinger from Switzerland, and then Emil Pettersson from Sweden. And with bib number 5, we will have Noel von Gruningen from Switzerland as well. And now we have Matthias Itten at the start gate getting ready for his first run and just getting on course in a few seconds. And we have Matthias Itten on course with bib number 1. And the time for Matthias Itten is 55:19. Now on course we have with bib number 2 Hans Kral Madsen of Norway. And getting ready at the start gate we have Reto Schmidinger of Switzerland with bib number 3. It is a DNF for bib number 2 Hans Kral Madsen. We now have bib number 3 Reto Schmidinger on course here in Levi for the second day of the slalom race of the FIS European Cup. And we have Reto Schmidinger here in the finish area with a time of 56:75. Now on course we have Emil Pettersson of Sweden. After him getting ready at the start gate we have Noel von Grüningen of Switzerland with bib number 5. And we have Emil Pettersson cross the finish line in second place with a total with a time of 56:25. And now on course we have with bib number 5 Noel von Grüningen. At the start gate, we have Simon Ryland getting ready for his first run. Simon Ryland placed third in yesterday's competition, and he will be now competing with bib number 6. Noel von Gruningen has just come down the steep section, and he is almost a second behind the leader now and has crossed the finish line in third place with a time of 56:27. Simon Ryland, yesterday's third finisher, is now on course. And next up at the start gate, we have Jesper Pohjolainen getting ready for his first run. And Simon Ryland has crossed the finish line in second place with a time of 55:39. Now our flying Finn with bib number 7, Jesper Pohjolainen, getting ready to start his run at any moment. Jesper now on course. Athletes, please move away from the finish area. Jesper Pohjolainen making his way down and now crossing the finish line in third place with a time of 55:75. Next up we have with bib number 8, Fadri Janutin of Switzerland. At the start gate, we have Fabian Himmelsbach getting ready for his turn. Fadri Janutin is 75 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Fadri Janutin has crossed the finish line in 6th position with a time of 56:47, and we now have Fabian Himmelsbach with bib number 9 on course at the top. Getting ready at the start gate, we have yesterday's winner, Tommaso Saccardi of Italy, getting ready for his turn with bib number 10. Fabian Himmelsbach crossing the finish line with a time of 56.21. That takes him to 4th place at the time. And now on course, yesterday's winner, Tommaso Saccardi of Italy with bib number 10. Tommaso Saccardi coming down with the yellow bib, meaning he is leading the European Cup at the moment. And while Tommaso Saccardi is coming down the steep section, we have Mikkel Ramsøy with bib number 11 getting ready for his turn at the start gate. He placed 2nd yesterday. Tommaso Saccardi has finished and placed 4th as for now with a time of 55.90. And we now have with bib number 11 Mikkel Ramsøy on course. Mikkel Ramsøy only 900ths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. And Mikkel Ramsøy has crossed the finish line in 8th position with a time of 56.34. And now on course with bib number 12, Kilian Bramstaller of Austria.
Thank you so much.
At the start gate getting ready for his turn, we have Corrado Barbera of Italy. And we have Kilian Bramstaller in the finish area. He goes into 11th position with a time of 57.02. And at the same time, bib number 13 has started his run. That is Corrado Barbera of Italy. At the start gate, we have Gustav Wisting of Sweden getting ready for his run with bib number 14, while Corrado Barbera comes to the steep section here. He has been 2700ths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Now 4000ths of a second behind the leader. And Corrado Barbera has finished his run with a time of 55.48, taking him into 3rd position. Now on course with bib number 14, Gustav Wisting of Sweden. At the start gate, we have Jakob Greber of Austria getting ready for his run with bib number 15. Gustav Wisting 4500ths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. And we have Gustav Wisting crossing the finish line with a time of 56.06, taking him into 6th position. And now Jakob Greber on course with bib number 15. Jakob Greber is 35 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Now coming into the steep part. And Jakob Greber has come to the finish area, and he has placed 10th with a time of 56.29. Still leading the competition after 15 runners, Mattias Iten with bib number 1. After him, in second place for now, we have Simon Ryland, who is 2 tenths of a second behind Mattias Iten. And in third place, we have Corrado Barbera. In fourth, our own Jesper Pohjolainen. And in fifth, Tommaso Saccardi. Now for you on the stream, you can already see with bib number 16, Joel Lutolf of Switzerland getting ready for his first run on the second day of the FIS European Cup Slalom here in Levi, Lapland. Joel Lutolf with bib number 16 is now on course. With bib number 17, we have Angero Garay Fernandez waiting for his turn at the start gate while Joel Lutolf is approaching the steep section. At the first intermediate, Lutolf is 48 hundredths of a second behind the leader. Joel Lutolf has come to the finish area with a time of 56.25. That has taken him to 8th place. And now we have on course bib number 17, Angelo Garay Fernandez of Spain. It is a DNF for bib number 17, Angelo Garay Fernandez. Next up, we have with bib number 18, Tian Marov, getting ready for his start in just a moment. Tian Marov of Slovenia now on course with bib number 18. Tian Marov now on the steep section, and at the first intermediate he was 26 hundredths of a second behind the leader. At the start gate we have Simon Maurberger with bib number 19 getting ready for his turn. Tian Marov crossing the finish line with a time of 56.11, going into 7th position. Simon Maurberger now on course. Simon comes from Italy.
No nimet on hankalia, kun että alkaa niitä vääntää jenkiksi vai semmoisella meidän R:llä.
While Simon Maurberger is coming down the steep section, we have Adam Hofstedt with bib number 20 getting ready for his run at the start gate. Simon Maurberger going into 15th position with a time of 56.53. Adam Hofstedt of Sweden with bib number 20 has now started his first run. Adam Hofstedt was a 34 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Adam Hofstedt approaching the finish line now with a time of 56.52, going into 15th position. And at the start gate with bib number 21 we have Axel Lindqvist of Sweden.
Monta asiaa.
Axel Lindqvist 2/10 of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. At the start gate we have William Hansson, a fellow Swede, getting ready for his run with bib number 22. It is a DNF for bib number 21, Axel Lindqvist. And we have William Hansson with bib number 22 on course now. Next up, we will have Sandro Simonet of Switzerland coming down with bib number 23. William Hansson has crossed the finish line with a time of 55.90, taking him into 5th position for now. At the start gate, we have bib number 23, Sandro Simonet. Sandro Simonet making his way down, being 34 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Sandro Simonet now on the steep section. At the start gate, we have Matteo Canins of Italy getting ready for his turn with bib number 24. And Sandro Simonet has come to the finish area, placing 8th at the moment with a time of 56.11. Bib number 24, Matteo Canins, has started his run now. Following him, we will have bib number 25, Reto Maschler of Switzerland, getting ready for his first run at the start gate. Matteo Canins, 42 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate, now tackling the steep section of Levi Black. Matteo Canins, 80 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the second intermediate, now approaching the finish area. And we have a time for Matteo Canins that is 55.95, taking him into 7th position. And we have bib number 25, Reto Maschler, now on course. At the start gate, we have yesterday's fastest under 21-year-old Peder Lundar with bib number 26, getting ready for his first run. Reto Maschler a bit over a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Reto Maschler crossing the finish line with a time of 57.12, placing 22nd for now. And yesterday's fastest under 21-year-old Peder Lundar with bib number 26, now on course. Peder Lundar 43 hundredths of a second behind at the first intermediate. Peder Lundar crossing the finish line with a time of 56.63, taking him to 20th position for now. At the start gate we have bib number 27, Moritz Jurel of Austria, now on course.
Ja tää on mulle ihan riittävä ainakin.
Moritz Jurel 1.68 seconds behind at the first intermediate, now taking on the steep section. But it is a DNF for bib number 27, Moritz Jurel. At the start gate we have bib number 28, August Alnet, getting ready for his run. August Alnet now on course. After him we will have bib number 29, Adrian Meissen from Germany, getting ready for his first run on Sunday here in Levi. Alnet 1.32 seconds behind the leader at the first intermediate. Alnet has crossed the finish line in 24th position with a time of 57.77. And now at the start gate going is Adrian Meissen with bib number 29, and he is now on course. Adrian Meissen 65 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first intermediate. Meissen crossing the finish line now with a time of 56.88, going into 22nd place. Now at the start gate with bib number 30, Stefano Pisato of Italy. Stefano Pisato now on course. Stefano Pisato 1.14 seconds behind the leader at the first intermediate, and now at the beginning of the steep section. Stefano Pisato has crossed the finish line in 25th position with a time of 57.26 maybe. Still leading this first round, Matthias Itten, and in second place we have Simon Ruland, in third place Corrado Barbera, in fourth place Jesper Pohjolainen, and in fifth place William Hansson. With bib number 31, we have Camden Palmquist of the USA getting ready for his first run on Sunday here in Levi for the FIS European Cup Slalom race. Camden Palmquist now on course.
Muistatko aina jättää sen kuvalle jo väliin, mutta se... Joo.
Camden Palmquist 1.04 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Hugh McAdam of Australia has also started his run with bib number 32. It is a DNF for bib number 31, Camden Palmquist. Hugh McAdam coming to the steep section at any moment now here in Levi. Hugh McAdam with bib number 32. Jimmy Krupka with bib number 33 has also started his run. Jimmy is from the United States. Hugh McAdam 2.24 seconds behind at the second interval. Hugh McAdam crossing the finish line in 27th position with a time of 1:00.72. Jimmy Krupka with bib number 33 now on the steep section here. He was 78 hundredths of a second behind at the first interval. Lenz Haschler with bib number 34 has also started his run. Jimmy Krupka crossing the finish line in 25th position with a time of 57:42. Thomas Lardon of France now on the steep section here with bib number 35. It is a DNF for
35. Me en kuullut. Mun mielestä oli 35.
approaching the finish line. We have Oskar Andreas Sandvik of Norway with bib number 36. Oskar Andreas Sandvik finishes with a time of 56:91, taking him into 23rd place. On course we have with bib number 37, Jeremy Lagier of France. Jeremy Lagier 66 hundredths of a second behind at the first interval. Baptiste Sambui getting ready for his run with bib number 38. Bib number 38, Baptiste Sambui, also on course now. Jeremy Lagier of France approaching the finish area. Jeremy Lagier going into 24th position for now with a time of 56.97. Baptiste Sambui with bib number 38 going over to the steep section now. Baptiste Sambui was 70 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. It was a DNF for bib number 38. Now coming to the steep section, bib number 39, Francesco Riccardo Zucchini. Now on course as well, Stanley Buzek with bib number 40, while Zucchini crosses the finish line and going into 30th position with a time of 59.64. Stanley Buzek of the USA now on the steep section. He was 70 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. We also have bib number 41, Michal Jasicek on course, but it is a DNF for Stanley Buzek, bib number 40. Michal Jasicek of Poland now on the steep section here with bib number 41. He was 89 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. Bib number 42, Colin Zlatkov also on course now. It is a DNF for bib number 41, Michal Jasicek. Bib number 42, Colin Zlatkov has just entered the steep section here. At the first interval, Zlatkov was 47 hundredths of a second behind the leader. Colin Zlatkov has crossed the finish line in 25th position with a time of 57 seconds. Bib number 43 now at the start gate, Piotr Habdas of Poland, now on course. Bib number 44, Riccardo Allegrini getting ready for his run at the start gate. Piotr Habdas of Poland was 94 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval, now on the steep section. Riccardo Allegrini with bib number 44 has also started his run. Piotr Habdas crossing the finish line with a time of 58.32 going into 31st position. Now tackling this steep, we have Riccardo Allegrini with bib number 44 from Italy. Bib number 45, Ralf Seidler of Austria has also started his run. Riccardo Allegrini goes to 27th position for now with a time of 57.12. Ralf Seidler with bib number 45 now on the steep section, while Fabio Walsh with bib number 46 from Austria has also started his first run. Ralf Seidler crossing the finish line in 30th position with a time of 57.53. Fabio Walsh of Austria with bib number 46 now on the steep section. He was 85 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. Bib number 47, Sasha Dimier Chambe, has also started his run. Fabio Walsh crossing the finish line going into 25th place with a time of 57 seconds. Bib number 47, Sasha Dimier Chambe, now on the steep section, while bib number 48, Oskar Heine of Austria, has started his run, but it is a DNF for bib number 47. Bib number 48, Oskar Heine from Austria, now in the pictures, just coming over to the steep section here on Levi Black. Oskar Heine with bib number 48 now on the steep section, while bib number 49 has also started his run. That is Alessandro Pizio of Italy. It is a DNF for bib number 48, Oskar Heine, while Alessandro Pizio is just coming over to the steep section now. Bib number 50, Jerzy Jasicek, has now also started his first run, while Alessandro Pizio falls down, and it is a DNF for bib number 49, Alessandro Pizio. Bib number 50, Jerzy Jasicek of Poland, now on course. Bib number 50, Jerzy Jasicek, is a DNF. He does not finish.
But he returned to the track. Yes, interesting situation. He returned. Yes, because the teaching children to do so every time. But I'm not sure how it is the international coach.
We have bib number 51, Jakob Eisner of Austria, getting ready for his first run at the start gate. Eisner now on course. At the start gate, we have Marinus Senhofer with bib number 52 getting ready for his run. That is Marinus Senhofer from Germany getting ready for his run at the start gate. Jakob Eisner 64 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval, now coming onto the steep section of Levi Black. Marino Senhofer with bib number 52 has started his run. It is a DNF for bib number 51, Jakob Eisner. We can now see bib number 52, Marino Senhofer, coming over to the steep section here. Christoph Meisel with bib number 53 has now started his run. That would be Christoph Meisel from Austria. Marinus Senhofer almost a second behind the leader at the first interval and 3.43 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, now coming over to the finish area. And the time for Marinus Senhofer is 58.74, taking him to 35th position. Bib number 53, Christoph Meisel, now on the steep section here. He was 51 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. Jesper Wahlqvist with bib number 54 has also started his run at the top section. Christoph Meisel crossing the finish line in 33rd position with a time of 57.64. It is a DNF for bib number 54, Jesper Wahlqvist. Bib number 55, Max Geisler-Hauber, now on course. Max Geisler-Hauber is 58 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. Bib number 56, Michel Brugger of Switzerland, has also started his run. It is a DNF for bib number 55, Max Geisler-Hauber. We can now see bib number 56, Michel Brugger, on course. Bib number 57, Mathias Høibu of Norway, getting ready for his run at the start gate, while we see Michel Brugger with bib number 56 coming down the steep section. Michel Brugger has crossed the finish line in 35th position with a time of 57.90. We have Mathias Høibu of Norway with bib number 57 on course now. Mathias Høibu of Norway was 71 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first section. He is now tackling the steep section. Meanwhile, bib number 58, Thomas Barata, has just started his run. Mathias Høibu crossing the finish line in 30th position with a time of 57.24. We can now see bib number 58, Thomas Barata, on course, coming over to the steep section now. Bib number 59, Antoine Azolin, has also started his run at the top section, while we can see Thomas Barata of Spain with bib number 58 coming down, approaching the finish area at any moment. He has now crossed the finish line with a time of 59.93, taking him into 40th position. Bib number 59, Antoine Azolin, was 1.10 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, now tackling the steep section. Antoine Azolin from France. Antoine Azolin crossed the finish line in 23rd position with a time of 56.90. Bib number 60, Edoardo Saracco, is coming over to the steep section at any moment, and we can now see him at least on the stream. That would be Edoardo Saracco with bib number 60 from Italy. He was 1.10 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Edoardo Saracco going to 32nd place with a time of 57.32. Then we have bib number 61, Paul Silvestre from France, coming over to the steep section. Cooper Puckett of the USA with bib number 62 has now started his run as well. Paul Silvestre 2.70 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, approaching the finish area here momentarily. Paul Silvestre going into 38th position with a time of 57.79. Bib number 62, Cooper Puckett, now on the steep section here on Levi Black. Bib number 63, Lukas Kongsholm of Sweden, has also started his first run here at Levi. Cooper Puckett only 13 hundredths of a second behind in the first interval, but is now 1.82 seconds behind the leader at the second interval. Now closing on the finish line, and his time is 56.81, and he goes to 22nd place. Bib number 63, Lukas Kongsholm, is now on the steep section. Bib number 64, Florian Kunz, also on course. He is from Switzerland. We are here seeing Lukas Kongsholm of Sweden approaching the finish area at any moment. He has crossed the finish line with a time of 58.04, taking 41st place. And now bib number 64, Florian Kunz of Switzerland, on the steep section of Levi Black here. Florian Kunz about 1 second behind the leader at the first interval. With bib number 65, we have Jesperi Kemppainen getting ready for his run and now on course, while we see Florian Kunz of Switzerland crossing the finish line with a time of 58.27, going into 42nd place. Now here on the stream we see Jesperi Kemppainen taking on the course here at Levi Black on the second day of the FIS European Cup Slalom race. While Jesperi Kemppainen with bib number 65 is going on his run, we also have Jevin Palmqvist of the USA with bib number 66 on course now. Jesperi Kemppainen 0.99 hundredths of a second, 99 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval. Jesperi Kemppainen 2.93 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, approaching the finish area now with a time of 58.67, going into 44th place. That would be Jesperi Kemppainen in 44th position. While we see Jevin Palmqvist with bib number 66 on the steep section here at Levi Black. We also have with bib number 67 Andrea Bertoldini with his first run from Italy on course now. And we have Jevin Palmqvist in the finish area going into 48th position with a time of 1:00:65. It is a DNF for bib number 67, Andrea Bertoldini from Italy. And we have started bib number 68, Gleb Mosesov of Armenia. Dominik Zerho with bib number 69 from Germany, getting ready for his first run here in Levi at the start gate. Mosesov is 1.33 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, now going on to the steep section. We have bib number 69, Dominik Zerho, on course as well. Meanwhile, we are waiting for Gleb Mosesov to come to the finish area. He was 3.81 seconds behind the leader at the second interval. And the time for Gleb Mosesov is 58.75. He goes to 46th position. Dominik Zerho now on the steep section here with bib number 69.
Ja onko ulkona? Oliko DNF? Onko 69 DNF? Saanko sanoa, että 69
It was a DNF for bib number 69, but now we have bib number 70, Freddie Carrick-Smith from Great Britain on course now. So that was a DNF for bib number 69, Dominik Zerho. Now on course, bib number 70, Freddie Carrick-Smith. Freddie Carrick-Smith, 3.07 seconds behind the leader at the second interval. He is now closing on the finish line at any moment, and his time is 58.26, going into 42nd place. Our leader is still with bib number 1, Matthias Itten. And then we have Simon Ryland, only 0.2 of a second behind Matthias Itten. And in third place, Corrado Barbera. In fourth place, Jesper Pohjolainen. And in fifth place, William Hansson. At the start, we have Max Ulir with bib number 71, getting ready for his first run. Max Ulir from Sweden. Max Ulir with bib number 71 now on course. And we have Marius Kristoffersen with bib number 72 getting ready for his run. Max Ulir 1.3 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, now going on to the steep section, struggling there a bit, but is able to continue. That is Max Ulir with bib number 71. We also have on course Marius Kristoffersen with bib number 72. It is a DNF for bib number 71, Max Ulir, but bib number 72, Marius Kristoffersen, is just in a moment coming over to the steep section here on Levi Black. Marius Kristoffersen was behind the leader 1.35 seconds at the first interval. Luca Carrick-Smith from Great Britain with bib number 73 has also started his run. We are seeing here Marius Kristoffersen just tackling the end of the steep section. He was 3.14 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, and his final time is 58.41 seconds, going into 45th place. We can now see bib number 73, Luca Carrick-Smith, on the steep section of Levi Black. Our own Flying Finn Turo Torvinen with bib number 74 also on course, but it is a fall for Luca Carrick-Smith. That is a DNF for bib number 73, Luca Carrick-Smith. Turo Torvinen with bib number 74, 1.15 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, now going on the steep section. It is a DNF for bib number 74, Turo Torvinen. Bib number 75, Eirik Schau Giskas, also on course now. Eirik Schau Giskas from Norway with bib number 75. Bib number 76 is also one of our Flying Finns, Emil Keränen. That is Emil Keränen with bib number 76 starting his first run, but now here in the steep section we see Eirik Schau Giskas struggling a bit on the steep section with bib number 75. He was 3.32 seconds behind the leader at the second interval. Giskas crossing the finish line now in 46th position with a time of 58.63. We see Emil Keränen. Oli DNF. It is a DNF for bib number 76, our Flying Finn Emil Keränen. But now on course we have bib number 77, Alex Aubert Serracanta of Spain. Alex Aubert Serracanta here on the steep section was 1.49 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. We have also started Miha Oserban with bib number 78. That is Miha Oserban from Slovenia has started his run, while we see Aubert Serracanta here approaching the finish line in a few turns. And the time for Aubert Serracanta is 59.11, going into 50th position. And we see Miha Oserban with bib number 78 just entering the steep section of Levi Black. Bib number 78 is a DNF. That is a DNF for Miha Oserban. Bib number 79 has started his run. That is Jonas Sanchez Cabanas of Spain. It is a DNF for bib number 79, that is Jonas Sanchez Cabanas. We have bib number 80 now on course, that is Lukas Kraus of Germany. Bib number 80, Lukas Kraus on course now. Getting ready at the start gate, we have another flying Finn, Erik Saravo with bib number 81 getting ready for his run.
Another fearless Finn. Flying Finn, me ollaan fearless. Nyt onko mä sanonut koko ajan flying?
Lukas Kraus now on the steep section here, who was 2.09 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. We have Erik Saravo also on course with bib number 81, but we can still see here bib number 80, Lukas Kraus of Germany, just at the end of the steep section, approaching the finish area now, and the time for Lukas Kraus is 1:00:49, taking him to 53rd place.
Mikä me ollaan? Fearless Finn, joo.
Bib number 81, Fearless Finn, Erik Saravo tackling the steep section of Levi Black here. Meanwhile, we have started bib number 82, Kakeru Hirai of Japan. We are still seeing Erik Saravo approaching the finish area now, and the time for Erik is 59:39, going into 51st place. Bib number 82, Kakeru Hirai, just coming over to the steep section now. Jonas Kabar of France with bib number 83 has also started his run, but it is a DNF for bib number 82, Kakeru Hirai. Jonas Kabar with bib number 83, just making the last few turns before coming over to the steep section. Meanwhile, we start Salomo Sirviö with bib number 84 at the top section. Jonas Kavar is 1.10 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, now closing on the end of the steep section of Levi Black here, and he is 4.28 seconds behind the leader at the second interval. Just a few more gates before the finish line, and Jonas Kavar has crossed the finish line in 52nd place with a time of 59:50. And we can already see bib number 84, our fearless Finn, Salomo Sirviö, coming down the steep part. It is a DNF for bib number 84, Salomo Sirviö, while we can see bib number 85, Leo Avocat Maulas of France, coming over the last few gates before turning onto the steep section here. And we have next, we have bib number 86, Alex Rius Jimenez, starting his run now. Leo Avocat Maulas 1.34 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Leo Avocat Maulas 3.54 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, but it is a DNF for bib number 85, Leo Avocat Maulas. We have bib number 86, Alex Rius Jimenez, on course. That is Alex Rius Jimenez with bib number 86 on the steep section here. Alex was 2.48 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, and now 4.87 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, just crossing the finish line now, and the time for Alex Rius Jimenez is 1:00:42, taking him to 55th position. And we now have bib number 87, Ioannis Antonio of Greece, getting ready for his first run here on Sunday at Levi.
Mahadurniin, älkää ja sitten hyvä, kun saa henkeä välissä.
And the first intermediate time for Ioannis Antonio shows that he is 1.38 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. He has now started his way down the steep section of Levi Black here, while we have bib number 88, Xavier Cornela Yitart of Andorra, started his run. But it is a unfortunate DNF for bib number 87, Ioannis Antonio. Bib number 88 is here on course. That is Xavier Cornela Yitart of Andorra. And we are getting ready to start bib number 89, Florian Neumayer of Austria, while we are still seeing Xavier Cornela Yitart with bib number 88 here tackling the steep section. He was 1.96 seconds behind the leader at the first interval, still tackling the steep section here. Xavier Cornela Yitart 4.07 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, now crossing the finish line with a time of 59.25, going to 51st place. We can now see bib number 89, Florian Neumayer of Austria, tackling the steep section here. He was 1.97 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Florian Neumayer 4.04 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, but it is a DNF for bib number 89, Florian Neumayer of Austria. Bib number 90, Augustin Bianchini of France, getting ready for his first run. Matthias Itten still with bib number 1, leading this first round of the FIS European Cup slalom race here in Levi. The sky is opening. We have a bit of sunshine, at least the sunshine that we get here approaching the polar night here in Levi. That is bib number 90, Augustin Bianchini of France, has now started his first run on Sunday here in Levi. After that, we will have Otto Orezic of Croatia starting his run with bib number 91. But we are now seeing bib number 90, Augustin Bianchini of France, going for his run here. Augustin Bianchini 88 hundredths of a second behind the leader at the first interval here, but struggles, and it is a DNF for bib number 90, Augustin Bianchini. We have bib number 91. He has started his run. That is Otto Orezic of Croatia. Otto Orezic 2.05 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Bib number 92, Roko Begovic, also of Croatia, has started his run following Otto Orezic here. Otto Orezic now tackling the end of the steep part here, but it is a DNF for bib number 91, Otto Orezic of Croatia. Bib number 92, Roko Begovic, just turning over to the steep section of Levi Black at any moment. He was 2.39 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Bib number 92, Roko Begovic, goes into 60th position with a time of 1:02:38. Then we have Kasper Dirbye of Denmark with bib number 93, already on the steep section here. While we see Kasper Dirbye with bib number 93 here ending the steep section, we also have Emir Lokmic with bib number 94. He has started his run. Kasper Dirbye now crossing the finish line with a time of 1:01:72, going into 60th position. Now we can see bib number 94, that is Emir Lokmic, tackling the steep section of Levi Black here, struggling a bit, but it is a DNF for Emir Lokmic, bib number 94. Bib number 95 is also on course, that is Marek Müller. He is now on the top section here. We have also bib number 96, Alexa Tomovic, getting ready for his run. Bib number 95, Marek Müller on the steep section here, while we also have bib number 96, Alexa Tomovic, on course at the top section. This is bib number 95, Marek Müller, making his way down. He is 5.5 seconds behind the leader at the second interval. Marek Müller has crossed the finish line in 60th position with a time of 1:01:19. We can now see bib number 96, Alexa Tomovic, on the steep section here, while we have also started bib number 97, Aldo Tomasek. This is bib number 96, Alexa Tomovic, on the steep section here. He is 5.65 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, but it is a DNF for bib number 96. We have bib number 97, Aldo Tomasek, just coming over to the steep section now. Bib number 97 is a DNF, that is Aldo Tomasek, DNF. We now have the last racer, bib number 98, Dmitro Shepyuk, on course at the moment in the top part of Levi Black. Dmitro Shepyuk is 2.79 seconds behind the leader at the first interval. Now turning onto the steep section here. This is our last racer for this first round of the slalom race here on Sunday at Levi. This is the official FIS European Cup slalom race at Levi. Dmitro Shepyuk is 5.67 seconds behind the leader at the second interval, and he is crossing the finish line at any time. That is now with a time of 1:01:74, going into 62nd position. The results after the first round here in Levi for our slalom race. We still have Matthias Iten with bib number 1 in first position. Next we have Simon Ruland in second position. In third we have Corrado Barbera. In fourth we have Jesper Pohjolainen. In fifth we have William Hansson. In tied fifth we have Tommaso Saccardi as well from Italy. And then in seventh position we have Matteo Canins. In eighth we have Gustav Wisting. In ninth, Sandro Simonet. And in tied ninth, Tian Marovt as well. So we have a tie in positions 5 and 9. And then in 11th position, that is Fabian Himmelsbach. Our race will continue at 1:15, that is 13:15 local time here in Levi. And we will see you then.